Hello and welcome to WCMU's Quiz Central. Our teams tonight are Chippewa Hills and Alma, so don't go away.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com, on campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kulhalvi Event Center.
Good luck to both of our teams. Let's play Quiz Central.
Chopin.
Correct. All right, your next toss-up.
The lottery.
Right.
The Stranger.
You are correct. Traverse City Central hangs on. They are our season champions. Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to Quiz Central. I'm your host, Steve Smith. Our teams tonight are Alma and Chippewa Hills. They are 2 of 48 teams competing again this season. The Quiz Central teams are divided into 4 divisions based on school size. Each division will have a champion, and one of those teams will become this season's overall winner. They're vying for scholarships from Central Michigan University, and Rick Westover has the details on that.
The 4 starters and 3 alternates of the division championship teams will each receive a 2-year, $4,000 room and board scholarship from Central Michigan University Residence Life. In addition, 4 lucky Quiz Central seniors will receive textbook scholarships from the CMU Bookstore. And a special thanks to CMU Enrollment and Student Services, which provides lunch for our contestants and their traveling party.
All right, thanks, Rick. And with that, let's get right into the action with the Maroon and Gold round. Teams, the Maroon and Gold round is a 2-minute time round where you can answer as many questions as possible. If the team ringing in misses the question, the opposing team will have a chance to respond. There's no talking among team members, and correct answers are worth 10 points. Good luck to both of our teams. Here is your first question. The speech to the troops at Tilbury was given by what English monarch who sent Sir Francis Drake to fight against the Spanish Armada in 1588? We'll move on to the next question. James Madison originally proposed what constitutional amendment ratified in 1992 that governs changes to congressional salaries? Question number 3. Oh, sorry, Cameron. What Democratic candidate who was mocked with the chants, "Mama, where's my pa," defeated James G. Blaine in the presidential election of 1884? RJ, Alma?
William McKinley.
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. How about Chippewa Hills? We will find out in just a minute. What element, 3 or 4 atoms of which are found in thyroid hormone, is a purple solid, is the heaviest stable halogen, and has atomic symbol I? Leanna, Chippewa Hills.
Iodine.
That's correct. What mythological character whose warnings were ignored when his brother married Pandora was a titan who was bound to a rock for stealing fire? Leanna, Chippewa Hills.
Prometheus.
That's correct. What Union general who led a disastrous mud march across the Rappahannock River at the Battle of Fredericksburg is renowned for his facial hair? Cameron, Alma.
Ambrose Burnside.
That's correct. What German author wrote about an artist's doomed love for a married woman named Lotta in the 1774 novel The Sorrows of a Young Werther? Next question. What sculptural series depicting abstract upward flight by Konstantin Brancusi was subject to a trial after U.S. Customs declared it was not art? Some tough questions here to start off our game. What novel that is mainly set, and we will not get to that one. All right, we have a score of 20-10. It's a close one coming out of the start here. The questions that were missed, the German author was Goethe. The English monarch was Elizabeth I. The constitutional amendment was the 27th. The Democratic candidate was Grover Cleveland. And the sculptural series was Bird in Space. All right, well, let's get to know our candidates, or our our contestants just a little bit better. As I mentioned, we have Alma with us first. So Tyler, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tyler Bader. I'm a junior at Alma High School, and I run track in the spring.
Hi, I'm Kylie Day. I'm a senior at Alma High School, and I do band and robotics.
Hi, I'm Cameron Snyder, a junior at Alma High School, and I do Quiz Bowl.
My name is RJ Finn. I go to Alma High School, and I'm a pretty nice guy.
All right, nice to have you here. We'll take your word for it. Alma's alternates are Daniel Thanasu, Gage Mitchell, and Jacob Bonacci. They're coached by Lewis Holliday. Let's give them a nice round of applause. And now to the team from Chippewa Hills. Hi there, Emma.
I'm a senior at Chippewa Hills High School, and I'm in band and robotics.
Hi, I'm Leanna from Chippewa Hills High School. I'm a junior, and I love reading.
Hi, I'm Shay Van Horn. I'm a senior at Chippewa Hills High School, and I do cross country and robotics.
Hi, I'm Aaron Badendorp. I'm a sophomore from Chippewa Hills High School, and I love history.
All right, nice to have you here too. Chippewa Hills alternate is Jacob Harwood. The team's coach is Jody Clark. Let's give them a nice round of applause. And with that, we move right back into the action with the kickoff round. The kickoff round is a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. The team that correctly answers the toss-up will be asked a bonus. Then we go back to a toss-up question for both teams. Toss-up questions need an individual response, but team members can consult on the bonus questions. Captains, remember that the answers must come from you on the bonuses unless you defer to a colleague. Here is your first toss-up question. U.S. radio station call letters start with K or what other letter? R.J. Alma.
W.
That is correct. And here is your bonus. What region, which was secularized in the Quiet Revolution and had independence referenda in 1980 and 1995, is a French-speaking Canadian province?
Quebec.
Quebec.
That's correct. Both teams play in a toss-up. The Great Chicago Fire was rumored to have begun after a cow belonging to what Irish immigrant knocked over a lantern? That would be Catherine O'Leary. Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Another toss-up. What quantity, which cannot decrease for isolated systems according to the second law of thermodynamics, measures disorder and is denoted S? That answer is entropy. Viola music is written using what musical clef, whose center staff line is middle C, unlike the treble and bass clefs? Aaron, Chippewa Hills.
Clef.
We need the type of clef.
Oh.
No answer? How about Alma? It would be alto clef. All right, another toss-up. What politician who was removed from his committee assignments in 2019 because of his remarks on white supremacy is a congressman from Iowa? He is Stephen King. What type of orbit, approximately 22,000 miles above the Earth's surface, has a period that will keep an object above the same spot on the equator? That answer is geosynchronous. All right, Lorenzo the Magnificent was a member of what powerful family that dominated Renaissance-era Florence? Leanna, Chippewa Hills.
The Medici family?
That's correct, and here is your bonus. What particles, which were identified as the constituents of cathode rays by J.J. Thomson, are found in a namesake cloud around the atomic nucleus?
Electrons?
That's correct. All right, back to both teams. What literary character who dates a golfer named Jordan Baker is the narrator of F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby? He would be Nick Carraway. What movement about which William Still wrote an 1872 book organized trips to Canada led by conductors such as Harriet Tubman to free slaves? Cameron, Alma.
The Underground Railroad.
That's right, and here's a bonus. The lyric, "And there's a lot of lame guys out there" from Taylor Swift's song Me is sung by what lead vocalist of the band Panic at the Disco?
Brendan Urie.
That's right. All right, both teams. De Morgan's laws relate the union and intersection operations of what mathematical objects? Those are sets. The top uranium-producing country in the world is what nation, whose capital of Nur-Sultan was renamed from Astana in 2019? Aaron, Chippewa Hills.
Kazakhstan.
That's correct. Here is your bonus. England and Scotland joined under the Act of Union during the reign of what queen who was succeeded by George I in 1714? Need an answer, please?
Queen Elizabeth?
Nope, Queen Anne. All right, another toss-up. What country, which owns Cocos Island, shares land borders with only Nicaragua and Panama? That would be Costa Rica. Sorry, Leanna. And that brings us to the end of our round. All right, kind of a tough round there, but we have a 10-point game. Right now, excuse me, we actually have a tied game as we move into our first break, and when we come back, we'll see what happens in the perfect 10, so don't go away.
I took astronomy from Carl Sagan in 1977. The guy had a huge influence on me. Cosmos on PBS was Carl Sagan's lectures with fabulous graphics.
Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
PBS and I are a perfect match. It's just wonderful programming, not just for kids, but for all of us.
Carry on, carry on. Don't you people have school to work on?
Today, children have more ways to learn and grow than ever before. But in rural areas of our country, millions don't have access to high-speed internet. For these families, television is often their only source of educational programming. The new PBS Kids 24/7 channel is available for those who need it most, providing content that's proven to build important skills for every child.
Welcome back to Quiz Central and the Perfect 10 round. The Perfect 10 round gives you 60 seconds to answer 10 questions from your choice of clues to 3 categories. The opposing team gets 30 seconds to tackle all unasked, missed, or passed questions. We have a tie game, so we flipped a coin during the break. Chippewa Hills has opted to go first today, so your clues to the categories are, and the winner is Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu, and the social network. And the winner is Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu, and the social network. Which one sounds good to you guys? Let's have a choice, please.
Netflix, YouTube, and Hulu.
All right. The actual category is characters on streaming series. Name the first streaming show to feature these characters. Blind superhero Matt Murdock.
The Flash.
Nope. A resident of Gilead called Offred.
Pass.
Count Olaf and the narrator Lemony Snicket.
A series of unfortunate events.
That's correct. Midge, a 50s housewife who becomes a comic.
Pass.
Okay. 11, a girl with telekinesis.
Pass.
Tasty, Red, and Piper, who are convicts.
Pass.
The demon Crowley, played by David Tennant.
Supernatural.
Nope. The Pink Cat Princess Carolyn.
Pass.
Federation officer Michael Burnham.
Pass.
And Titus Andromedon with the mole woman Gretchen.
Pass.
All right. Okay, and we hear the buzzer there. So, Alma, you now have 30 seconds on the clock to name the first streaming show to feature these characters. Blind superhero Matt Murdock.
Daredevil.
Correct. Resident of Gilead called Offred.
Pass.
Midge, a 50s housewife who became a comic.
Pass.
11, a girl with telekinesis.
Stranger Things.
Yep. Tasty, Red, and Piper, who are convicts.
Orange is the New Black.
Right. The demon Crowley, played by David Tennant.
Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Yep. The Pink Cat Princess Carolyn.
BoJack Horseman.
And we're out of time. The answer to that one, though, is BoJack Horseman. The other ones that we did not get right, the resident of Gilead called Offred, that was The Handmaid's Tale. Midge was the star of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Let's see here. We have, and I guess the Federation officer Michael Burnham was Star Trek Discovery. Titus Andromedon and the mole woman Gretchen were from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And the Pink Cat Princess Carolyn was BoJack Horseman, as we mentioned there. So, okay, that takes us to the second round of our Perfect 10 round. That means that Alma now has their pick from the remaining categories. And those remaining categories are, and the winner is, and the social network. Which one would you like?
Social network.
Social network, all right. Facebook, answer the following about Facebook. Its co-founder and CEO.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Right. Photo sharing app Facebook acquired in 2012.
Instagram.
Right. Its headquarters are in Menlo Park in this state.
California.
Right. Ivy League school where it was developed.
Harvard.
Yup. Interaction between users indicated by a pointing finger.
Poke.
Right. Singer of Hips Don't Lie, who was the first to reach 100 million likes.
Shakira.
Right. Name of Facebook's on-demand video service.
Pass.
Actor who played Facebook's CEO in the 2012 film The Social Network.
Pass.
Author of the book Lean In, who is Facebook's COO.
Pass.
And British consulting firm that acquired millions of users' information in 2015.
WikiLeaks?
Nope, sorry. Okay, Chippewa Hills, 30 seconds to you. Answer the following about Facebook. Name of Facebook's on-demand video service.
Facebook Live?
Nope. Actor who played Facebook's CEO in the 2010 film The Social Network.
Pass.
Author of the book Lean In, who is Facebook's COO. And British consulting firm that acquired millions of users'
BuzzFeed?
information beginning in 2015.
BuzzFeed?
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. That answer would have been Cambridge Analytica. The author of the book Lean In is Sheryl Sandberg. The actor who played Facebook's CEO was Jesse Eisenberg, and the name of Facebook's on-demand video service was Watch. All right, so that gets us through the perfect 10, and Alma made a nice move there. They've moved up to 150 to 60, and with that, we will now move into the home stretch. The home stretch is like round 2. It's a combination of toss-up and bonus questions. I'll ask one toss-up question. The team that answers correctly will be asked a bonus. Then we go back to a toss-up question for both teams. Your first toss-up question is, Dutch metal is an alloy of zinc and what highly conductive element that makes up a large percentage of bronze? RJ, Alma.
Copper.
That's right, and here is your bonus. Pythagoras writes in a book while Diogenes sprawls across the steps in what fresco by Raphael, whose center shows Plato and Aristotle conversing?
It's like something of Greece.
The
Answer?
philosophers?
I'm sorry?
The philosophers?
No, I'm sorry, the School of Athens. Back to both teams. Ah, but your land is beautiful and Cry the Beloved Country are anti-apartheid novels by what South African writer? RJ, Alma?
Nelson Mandela.
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. Chippewa Hills. That person was Alan Paton. What country's 19th century society is depicted in a series called The Human Comedy, written by Balzac, and in Victor Hugo's novel, Les Miserables? Aaron, Chippewa Hills.
France.
That's right, and a bonus for Chip Hills. What landmark at Agra, India, was commissioned by Shah Jahan and is one of the new 7 wonders of the world?
Taj Mahal.
That's correct. All right, back to a toss-up. In June 2019, New York eliminated religious exemptions for what practice that prevents diseases such as measles and was invented by Edward Jenner? Leanna, Chippewa Hills.
Vaccination.
That's right, and another bonus. The Poblano Picasso and The Sound and the Curie have been menu items at what fictional eatery that is across the street from Jimmy Pesto's Pizzeria? That's Bob's Burgers. All right, another toss-up. Kate Brown is the governor of what U.S. state that is represented in the Senate by Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley? That would be Oregon. In ancient Rome, what day fell 9 days after the nones of each month, and according to Shakespeare, was a day Julius Caesar was told to beware? Aaron, Chippewa Hills.
The Ides of March.
That's correct. Here is your bonus. What British poet's collection Songs of Innocence and of Experience contains a poem about a creature in the forests of the night titled The Tiger? No answer. William Blake. Another toss-up question. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams sing the egg in what musical about the drafting of the Declaration of Independence? Kylie, Alma.
Hamilton?
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. Chippewa Hills would be the year 1776. That brings us to the end of our round. Okay, that was a lively one. Chippewa Hills closed things up a bit, but we still have a score of 160 to 100. That would be in Alma's favor. We are going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll play the final countdown, so don't go away.
Our great state of Michigan is truly one of a kind. From the city streets to the small towns, you can see it all right here on Destination Michigan. We'll crisscross the state in search of the sights, the sounds, and of course the people that make Michigan the greatest state in the land. Take in the scenery, meet the people, and experience the wonder of the Great Lakes state. Come along with us as we share your stories on Destination Michigan.
Unlock your newest member benefit. Over 1,000 episodes of your favorite PBS shows. American Masters, Antiques Roadshow, Nature, Nova, Masterpiece. Watch the best of PBS anytime, anywhere. Become a member, sign in, and start streaming today.
All right, this is it, the Quiz Central Final Countdown. It's another 2-minute rapid-fire round. The first player to ring in gets a shot at answering the question. If you get it wrong, we turn to the opposing team for a chance to answer. What baseball team, which features infielder John Segura and sent starter Felix Hernandez to the bullpen in 2018, plays at Safeco Field in Washington? RJ, Alma.
The Nationals.
Nope, I'm sorry, incorrect. Chippewa Hills. We'll get the correct answer in a minute. What protagonist in the novel Slaughterhouse-Five survives the firebombing of Dresden and becomes unstuck in time?
Billy.
Cameron, Alma?
Oh, Billy.
Yep, you are correct. Billy Pilgrim. Fentanyl is a member of what class of compounds, along with heroin and morphine, that? RJ, Alma?
Opiates.
That's right. In 1948, what leader of the World Zionist Organization became the first Prime Minister of Israel? On to the next question. What French monarch who was supposedly claimed Paris is worth a mass granted religious tolerance to Huguenots by passing the Edict of Nantes? The next question. Levers are classified based on the relative position of the load, the effort, and what point above which the lever pivots. Aaron, Chippewa Hills.
The fulcrum.
That's right. What adjective appeared in the titles of shows about a cop, played by Josh Groban, a betrayed wife, played by Juliana Margulies, and a savant doctor? And that adjective would be good. Oops, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to give you the answer, but that's all right. What mountain named for a Polish revolutionary is the highest point in Australia? Next question. What people, who are sometimes called buckaroos from the Spanish word vaquero, often wrangle animals? Leanna, Chippewa Hills? You are right. Cowboys is the answer. In Greek mythology, who slew the Nemean lion and wore its skin? Leanna.
Hercules.
That's right. And get that in just under the buzzer there. But Alma does hang on to win. We had a close game, and Chippewa Hills made a nice run at the end there. But let's give Alma a nice round of applause for their win. Going back to the questions from that last round, the highest point in Australia is Mount Kosciuszko. The first Prime Minister of Israel was David Ben-Gurion. The French monarch was Henry IV. The adjective, as I mentioned, was good, and the baseball team would have been the Seattle Mariners. But again, a good game. We're glad to have both teams here. Let's give them both a nice big round of applause. And that does it for another edition of Quiz Central. Until next time, like us on Facebook or watch your favorite game online as we feature the best and brightest high school students from around the state. Thanks for watching.
Support for Quiz Central is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com, on campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kulhalvi Event Center.